108 దివ్యక్షేత్రాల్లో ఒకటైన పద్మనాభ స్వామివారి దేవాలయానికి సంబంధించిన ప్రిన్స్ గౌరీ లక్ష్మీబాయి గారు కూడా నాతో ఉన్నారు. పద్మశ్రీ అవార్డు కూడా అందుకున్నటువంటి ఒక గొప్ప వ్యక్తి. సో నేపథ్యంలో భారతదేశ వ్యాప్తంగా ఉన్నటువంటి సనాతన హైందవ ధర్మం విశ్వవ్యాప్తం చేయడంలో భాగంగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ కూడా హిందూయిజం అంటే చాలా ముక్త కంఠంతో ఎదురు చూస్తూ ఉంటారు. ఎంతో ఆశగా హిందూ అని చెప్పుకోవడానికి గర్వంగా అభిప్రాయపడుతుంటారు. సో నేపథ్యంలో సనాతన ధర్మమైనటువంటి క్షేత్రాల్లో ప్రిన్స్గా వెలుగొందుతున్నటువంటి ప్రముఖ వ్యక్తి గౌరీ మేడం గారు కూడా నాతో ఉన్నారు. సో మేడంని అడిగి మరింత సమాచారం తెలుసుకునేటువంటి ప్రయత్నం చేశాం. ఎందుకంటే అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి ఆలయం అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి ఎంతో ఆసక్తికరంగా ఉంటుంది. అంటే నెగిటివ్ షేడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, పాజిటివ్ షేడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. రెండు వైపులా ఉన్నాయి. ఒక నాణ్యానికి రెండు వైపుల అచ్చు బొమ్మ ఎలాగుంటుందో అదే తరహాలో ఇవాళ అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి ఆలయం అంటే నేలమాలిగలకు ప్రసిద్ధిగాంచినప్పటికీ ఒక విష్ణుమూర్తి రూపంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆలయం. సో ఆరిజిన్ అక్కడి నుంచి డెవలప్ అయింది. మిగతాదంతా కూడా అవతారాలు తీసుకోవచ్చు. విష్ణుమూర్తికి ఉన్నటువంటి అవతారాలు మిగతా ఉండొచ్చు, అంటే రాముడు, కృష్ణుడు వగైరా. సో ఈవేళ ఆరిజిన్ అయినటువంటి అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి వారి ఆలయం అంటే ఎంతో భయభక్తులతో స్వామివారిని దర్శించుకోవాలి పరిస్థితి ఉంటుంది. సో మనకి వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి చూస్తే నిల్చున్నటువంటి ప్రతిరూపం, అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి అయితే శేషశయనుడైనటువంటి ప్రతిరూపం ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ వ్యవస్థకు, ఈ సంస్థానానికి, ఈ ట్రావెన్కోర్కి ప్రిన్సెస్గా ఉన్నటువంటి గౌరీ గారు కూడా ఉన్నారు. సో ఆమెకి భారతదేశ ప్రభుత్వం గుర్తించి పద్మశ్రీ కూడా లిటరేచర్కి ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. సో నేపథ్యంలో నలుగురు ప్రధానులతో కూడా ఆమె చిన్ననాటి నుంచి కూడా వచ్చారు. పండిట్ జవహర్లాల్ నెహ్రూ, శ్రీమతి ఇందిరాగాంధీ, రాజీవ్ గాంధీ, అలాగే వీరందరితో కూడా ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతం ఉన్నటువంటి నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారు. సో వీరందరితో కూడా ఆమె చాలా దగ్గరుండి చూసినటువంటి ఒక వ్యక్తి. సో అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి ఆలయ చరిత్ర గురించి తెలుసుకునేటువంటి ఒక ప్రయత్నం చేస్తుంది. నమస్తే మేడం. హౌ డూ యూ ఫీల్ వైల్ కమింగ్ టు తిరుపతి?
Very good. It's always a blessing to come to a great religious and spiritual center. Tirupati, of course, is such a famous hallowed spot on earth, and it's a great blessing that I'm able to come here for darshan. This is not the first time, but every time it is a blessing.
Right. While coming to Tirupati, there is a sanctity. There is a holiness in Andhra Pradesh, especially in Tirumala. How do you feel while coming to Tirumala?
The holiness or sanctity which you say, the vibrations which are there, are I think there in many of the holy places. It is not restricted to one place alone, because Swami, he is Sarvavyapi. You cannot limit him to one place.
Sarvantaryapi.
So he is everywhere. And definitely the vibrations are very strong in places which have received these vibrations over centuries of undated, unrecorded periods of time.
Whereas comparing to the neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh is Kerala. So in Kerala, Travancore is especially meant for Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. So how far the accessibility with Ananta Padmanabha Swami while praying the God?
I think you must make it a little clearer.
How do you feel while staying at the temple in Ananta Padmanabha temple, whereas to Tirumala Sri Venkateswara Swami idol?
You see, these things do not bear comparison. You cannot compare anything in those things. Tirumala Venkateswara is Tirumala Venkateswara. Tirundaram Padmanabha Swami is Tirundaram Padmanabha Swami. So the comparisons are not there. And then possibly now you come from Tirupati, so wherever you may go, automatically you will think of Tirupati Venkatachalapati, wherever you are. Wherever you may go, that will come to your mind. You will pray to the other form of God, not other God, other form of God, but automatically you will think of Tirupati Venkatachalapati. So like that, wherever I may go, my first thing would be Padmanabha. And then of course, that does not mean that there is anything more or less, everything is the same. And it's Anandam, Avarnaniyam. It's all there. So you call it Tirupati Venkatachalapati, you call it Padmanabha Swami, you call it Guru Ayappan, you call it Ayyappa Swami, you call it Devi. It's finally all the same.
While seeing the sanctum of the sanctorium of Lord Padmanabha Swami temple, whereas to Venkateswara Swami. Difference, there is a lot of difference.
Yes.
While we praying, even while the Christ or Muslims, God, whoever it may be, it in our soul, while keeping the meditation of whichever the God is. So the sanctorium of Lord Ananta Padmanabha, he is laying, now he is standing. So the grace, how the public will, the devotees will capture the both.
It depends on the mentality or the perceptive capacity of each individual. There is no particular uniform yardstick. But only thing I have to say is that, as they have said in our old Puranas and in our old sacred scriptures, Akashal patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskara keshavam pradigacchati sarvadeveshu yal punyam sarvatirtheshu yad bhalam tad bhalam samavapnodi shutva devam janardanam. So wherever, finally, like different streams having their sources in different places, all mingle their waters in the sea. So, O Lord, the different paths men take, all finally lead to Thee. You call him Venkateswara, you call him Padmanabha, you call him anything you like, anything. But that Sarvavyapi Sarvaswarupa Paramananda Brahmananda Rupam, that Rupam, it all finally goes to that, isn't it?
While entering into the temple of Lord Venkateswara, some vibrations will come to everyone. So as to Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple also. So here the vibration Govinda, Govinda, the same this disciple will go direct to the Lord, and he changes, he himself, whether he is a criminal also, while seeing the Lord Venkateswara, he may change, completely he may change. So that much of power is our God having, as Sri Venkateswara is having. So at the same time, while your birthplace in Travancore, how do you feel you're from that place?
Like the blood that flows in the veins, like the throb of the pulse, the beat of the heart, the breath that comes in and out of the body, Padmanabha. That is all Padmanabha. I have nothing more to say. Padmanabha, Sarvam, Vishnumayam Jagal. So I call him Padmanabha, I can call him Venkatesha. It does not mean that because you say Padmanabha or you say Venkatesha Padmanabha, no, there is no comparison. You cannot compare. They are all the Saguna Rupams of the Nirguna Parabrahman, who has been given a Saguna Rupa. In different ways, in different aspects, different attitudes they come, and we should not compare. But in Padmanabha Swami temple, the mood of the Mula Vigraha, the mood is that of Anandam. He is in Yoga Nidra. He is not sleeping. He is in conscious, cosmic slumber or Yoga Nidra. And he knows everything that is going on. He is not sleeping. And his mood is not Shantam and Anandam. Anandam, Paramanandam, Brahmanandam, Nityanandam, Chinmayanandam, Sarvaswarupa Ananda Swami. Anandam, Anandam, Anandam. That is why my ancestor Maharaja Swati THIRUNAL in one of his compositions wrote, Swamin Mamakamanasam Viharatam Tvayeva Nityam Hare. Swamin Mamakamanasam Viharatam Tvayeva Nityam Hare. Only in you. And it's not just happiness, it is a little more than that. Intoxication, exaltation, exhilaration, call it whatever you may say, Viharatam. I think that is the same wherever you go, wherever everybody has an Ishta Devata. Some people have a Kudumba Devata, Kula Devata, Ishta Devata.
Yes.
So that Devata is special to that form of divinity is special to that person, isn't it? But that does not mean that something else is superior or inferior or anything. They are all the same.
So it's a blessed Gowri has born in the Travancore family.
Very much.
How do you feel?
Very much.
It's a God's gift?
If somebody asks me for my biodata, I can say that in one sentence, that I am Saubhagyatin the Sandati, the child of good fortune. to have been born in the family of Padmanabhadasas, to have served the feet of my Bhagavan. What more blessing, what more fortune? Definitely, absolutely.
So, the central government of India has identified you and awarded a prestigious award of Padma Shri. While receiving from the hands, how do you feel?
President gave it, President of India. It was a great blessing, a great honor. And that also I received with both hands and submitted at the feet of my Padma Swami. Like all my other awards, every award I have got, I received, and in my mind I submitted at his lotus feet.
Did you think that you will get a Padma Shri?
Never. I never knew about it. I had not even the slightest hint. I knew about it on the very day they were announcing. That was on the 25th of January night. They announced the list of the Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, all the awards they were announcing. That afternoon at 12:30 only I knew. I knew when they called me from Delhi and asked me whether I would accept it. That's the time I knew. Otherwise, I never knew. I had no idea. I had no inclination. I have never wanted also. Never. How I wish I could get one now.
In which sector they identified and given
Writing, literature.
In the literature. How many books till date you have written? In which of them? Out of 13, can you name something?
3 of them are poetry. The first 2 books, Thirumulkarcha and the Dawn, are poetry. Third is prose, Padmaswami Temple. Then I have written Tulasi Garden, Rudrakshamala, Glimpses of Kerala Culture, Amateur's Attempt at Poetry, History Liberated, my latest 13th, then Mighty Indian Experience. 13 books altogether.
Someone helped you while literating these things?
No, actual writing I have always done myself. But in the case of proofreading or in the case of finding out mistakes, no, not publication. In the case of finding out mistakes or suggestions, I've had, especially in the case of this last book, Glimpses of Kerala, History Liberated. Madam Uma is sitting here, and Professor Nalin Ganesh, they were all very, very helpful in that book. My earlier books, the writing I have done always on my own, but with proofreading and then getting mistakes which could crop up and additional information which you may not know, which they may, although they have been very, very helpful. And in the case of Padmaswami Temple book, I have taken, even if it's a sweeper woman who is sweeping the...
It's common English.
I ask her in my own language, is there anything you can tell me about Padmaswami Temple? You are a sweeper. Can you tell me?
You collected from everyone.
Whether it's a scholar or a Panditan or a Pamaran, and finally the call of my heart. Finally.
Wholeheartedly, from the instructions of Lord Padmanabha,
yes,
you wrote it.
Yes, instructions maybe, but because of his blessings, because of his grace only, I have written all the 13 books. Only because of him. Without that, I am sure I cannot write even a line.
Yes.
Only because of him. And in certain cases, like my latest book, he has held my hand and made me write. It was so difficult.
That's why I asked him. Our health also need to support while writing the literature. Why? Because while proofreading the literature, need to understand to someone to explain. So Lord Padmanabha put your hand, folded your hands and written.
Yes, especially the last book. At 2 o'clock at night and all that I am sitting and writing. I don't know computer or anything like that, so I write with my hand only. And especially in this last book, Madam Uma and Professor Nalin Ganesh have been hugely helpful in going through every word, every line, every sentence of the proof. They have done the proof correction, they have done so many things. The help was huge.
Alright, coming back to, as a coin is having a tail and head and both sides.
Yes.
So likewise, in the oldest, the richest god is Ananta Padmanabha. The 6 or 7 Naila Maligas is there. Some mysterious things are going there some way. So tell about the Nela Maliga, what actually is going on there. Some of them still are having some suspicious ideas, speculations, all those things.
You cannot prevent speculations. You cannot prevent speculations. People will speculate, and the media, with all due respect, theoretizes, magnifies things, creates things which are not there, because to attract the listeners, the viewers. Sometimes the media behaves in a very funny way, and they bring out things which are not there.
Yes.
Like that. Then with regard to the coloras or the cellar, the vaults, all the vaults have except one are open. Only that one vault has not been opened, because traditionally it is believed that it should not be opened. So we do not know what is there in that vault. And then the astrological predictions were also put, the prashnas were put. There also said don't open. Our tantris said don't open. A lot of beliefs, there's so many stories are there, we do not know. Some people say it is an ocean of milk is there. If you open it, that will gush out. But it is true that from the floor of the temple, inside the Charajuta, milk has bubbled up. That is there, it is one of the miracles. And then people say that the rishis are sitting there in deep meditation and that they should not be disturbed. Then there is another thing, that the chakras, there are some very powerful chakras, possibly Sudarshana chakras, which are buried under the ground, and their potency connects with the Mula Vigraha. So if you open and that gets disturbed, then to re-establish it, people may not be in a position today to do that. You may say, how do you know it is there? How do you know that? How does the TV screen get the image? How does the radio get? You have invisible tarangams.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Waves.
Waves like that. This invisible potency vibrations are there connecting the chakram and the Mula Vigraha of Bhagavan. So I mean, there are so many things I said we do not know, but it remains like that.
But, thank you for your kind time spending with our city cable.
Thank
సో
you.
ఓవరాల్గా తీసుకుంటే ఈవేళ అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామివారు ప్రపంచంలోనే అత్యంత సంపన్నమైనటువంటి ఆస్తిపాస్తులు కలిగినటువంటి మూర్తిగా చెప్పబడుతుంటారు. ఎన్నో రకాలైనటువంటి స్పెక్యులేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, నేలమాలికలు అవి ఉన్నాయి ఇవి ఉన్నాయి అనేసి. అంటే ఇలాంటి వదంతులను నమ్మకండి. క్షీరసాగరం ఉండడానికి కూడా అవకాశాలు ఉన్నాయి ఈ ప్రాంతంలో. మహంతులు, పెద్ద పెద్ద ఋషులు వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా చెప్పిన విధంగా 7వ నేలమాలికలను ఓపెన్ చేయకపోవడానికి అదే కారణం అంటున్నారు. సంస్కృతి సాంప్రదాయాలకి నిలయంగా ఉంటున్నటువంటి అనంత పద్మనాభ స్వామి ఆలయంలో ఇప్పటికీ కూడా భక్తులు తన్మయత్వంతో స్వామివారిని తరిస్తుంటారు. ప్రతినిత్యం గౌరీ గారు తిరుమల క్షేత్రానికి వచ్చి స్వామివారి ఆశీస్సులు అందుకొని వెళ్తుంటారు. 1-2 సార్లు కాదు, చాలా పర్యాయాలు వచ్చినటువంటి ఒక పరిస్థితి. పండిట్ జవహర్లాల్ నెహ్రూ ఉన్న సమయంలో నేరుగా వీరింటికే వచ్చి వీళ్ళ 4 ఫాదర్స్తో కలిసి వెళ్ళినటువంటి ఒక పరిస్థితి. నేరుగా అంత పెద్ద ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్సే నేరుగా గౌరీ మేడం వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళేటువంటి ఒక పరిస్థితి ఉంది. సో ఈవేళ ప్రిన్సెస్గా పిలువబడేటువంటి రాజమాతతో మనం ఈ ఇంటర్వ్యూ రావడం కూడా చాలా గొప్ప విషయం అని చెప్పుకోక తప్పదు.